Hey everyone, welcome back to Anime Dreams. If you enjoy deep what-if scenarios and bold twists on the Naruto universe, you're in the right place. Today we continue our fanfic series with part 4 of What If Naruko Uzumaki was the Juubi's chosen vessel. The stakes are higher, the consequences are darker, and Naruko's path is about to take another unexpected turn. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer: this content is created purely for entertainment and discussion. I don't own any anime footage used in this video. All rights and credits belong to their respective creators and copyright holders. With that said, let's dive back into the story. A peaceful return to the village. 3 months had passed since peace returned to the land. The great rebuilding effort brought people together from every corner of the world. Craftspeople, healers, and helpers from many villages worked side by side, laughing as often as they labored. Thanks to teamwork, and Naruko's clever use of her many helpful shadow clones, the Leaf Village was nearly restored to its bright, welcoming self. Most people were happy to live honestly in this new era. Still, a small group of travelers once thought they could take advantage of the busy times. They hurried through the forest with sacks that jingled loudly, congratulating themselves far too early. "We sure got lucky," one of them said, puffing as he walked. "Yeah," another added. "Everyone was too busy rebuilding to notice us." Before they could go any farther, a calm voice drifted down from the trees. "If you're carrying something that belongs to the village," the voice said kindly, "you might want to return it." The three travelers froze. Sakura stepped into view, hands calmly at her sides, her expression patient rather than angry. "You left a very easy trail to follow," she continued. "Coins tend to sparkle in the sunlight." Moments later, Sasuke appeared from the opposite direction, arms folded, quietly blocking the path ahead. No one looked threatened. No one raised a fist. The air was calm, but firm. The travelers exchanged nervous glances. "We didn't mean any harm," one of them admitted. "We just made a poor choice." "That happens," Sakura said. "What matters is what you do next." A soft landing sound followed as another figure joined them. Blonde hair caught the light as Naruko stepped forward, her Hokage cloak moving gently in the breeze. She stood tall, not with anger, but with confidence earned through responsibility. "I'm Naruko Uzumaki," she said warmly. "And I protect this village by helping people do the right thing." The travelers bowed deeply. "We're sorry," they said together. "We'll return everything." Naruko smiled, relieved. "Good. The village is stronger when everyone chooses honesty." With the money safely returned, the travelers were escorted back, not as enemies, but as people given a second chance and guidance toward better paths. As the forest grew quiet again, Sakura crossed her arms and looked at Naruko. "You didn't need to come yourself," she said, though her tone softened. "You're the Hokage now." Naruko laughed gently and rubbed the back of her head. "I know. But sometimes it helps to see peace with your own eyes." Sasuke gave a small nod. "You're learning." Naruko looked out toward the village, sunlight filtering through the trees. "This world fought hard for peace," she said. "Now it's our job to keep it, with kindness, responsibility, and trust." And with that, the three friends returned home together, ready to continue building a brighter future. A new day for Team 7. Naruko and Sasuke stood nose to nose, each glaring stubbornly at the other. Their brows were furrowed, and the air between them felt tight with frustration, like two kittens refusing to back down over the same sunny spot. "Back off," Sasuke muttered. "You back off," Naruko replied, arms crossed. Before either could say more, bonk, bonk. "Ow!" They both cried in perfect unison, clutching the tops of their heads. "Enough," Sakura snapped, hands on her hips. "You're adults now. Please act like it." Naruko and Sasuke froze. Somehow, Sakura seemed 10 times taller just by standing there. They both nodded quickly. Sakura sighed, then relaxed. "You're already here. Let's finish this properly and head home." Naruko smiled. "Right. Sasuke, can you help follow the trail of dropped coins?" Sasuke blinked. "Why me?" Naruko placed her hands on her hips. "Because I'm Hokage, and teamwork still matters." He opened his mouth to complain, then closed it, grumbling as he started gathering the scattered coins. Sakura covered her face briefly, shaking her head with a fond smile. As Sasuke bent to pick up another coin, Naruko scooped one up first. He looked at her in surprise. She already had a neat stack in her hand. She grinned. "I'm not letting you do this alone." Sasuke gave a small smile and continued. Sakura watched them quietly, pleased to see the old teamwork shining through again. Soon, everything was gathered. Naruko created a few helpful duplicates of herself to carry the bags, and together they returned everything safely to the village. The villagers thanked them warmly, and the mood was light and relieved. As they walked back toward the Hokage Tower, Sasuke spoke up. "Why did you really come with us, Naruko?" She thought for a moment, then smiled softly. "I guess I missed being part of a team. Even as Hokage, I'm still me." Sakura giggled. "It was nice, wasn't it?" Sasuke shrugged. "I didn't hate it." "That's basically a compliment coming from you," Naruko teased. When they reached Naruko's office, the door suddenly swung open with surprising force, startling everyone. Naruko stumbled back in surprise, landing safely but awkwardly against the wall. Inside stood Lady Tsunade, arms crossed, eyebrow raised. "Naruko," Tsunade said calmly, but very firmly. "We need to talk." Naruko laughed nervously. "Hi?" Tsunade gestured inside. "While you were out, I helped manage things here. And by helped, I mean I saved all your paperwork." Naruko peeked inside and gasped. Papers were stacked high, neatly organized but unmistakably overwhelming. "All of it?" Naruko squeaked. "All of it," Tsunade confirmed, then smiled. "Leadership means responsibility. I'll stay and supervise." Sasuke patted Naruko's shoulder. "Good luck." "You're leaving?" Naruko asked. "I value my peace," he replied, walking off. Sakura smiled apologetically. "I've got hospital duty, Naruko. But I'll see you tonight." Naruko brightened. "Promise?" "Promise." Later that evening, Sakura finished her shift and stepped outside. At the bottom of the steps stood Naruko, holding a small bouquet of flowers and smiling proudly. Sakura hurried down and hugged her carefully. "You came." "Of course," Naruko said warmly. "I wouldn't miss tonight." They walked side by side, Sakura leaning gently against Naruko's arm. "So," Sakura said, "where are we going for dinner?" Naruko grinned. "Someplace special. And no, it's not the noodle stand." Sakura laughed. "Then lead the way, Madam Hokage." Together, they walked off under the evening sky, ready for a peaceful night, a warm meal, and a future built on friendship, growth, and kindness. A rooftop promise. Naruko smiled as she spoke, her voice bright with excitement. "Well, I got us a reservation at the best restaurant in the village, with a rooftop table so we can watch the sun set together. How does that sound?" Sakura's eyes lit up. "That sounds amazing and romantic. I can't believe you went through all that trouble for me." Naruko rubbed the back of her head, a little shy. "Nothing is too troublesome when it comes to you." Sakura laughed softly and stepped closer, giving Naruko a warm, affectionate kiss on the cheek before wrapping her in a hug. Naruko hugged her back just as tightly, both of them smiling. "You're the best," Sakura said. "I couldn't ask for anyone better than you." "And I couldn't ask for anyone besides you," Naruko replied. Hand in hand, they walked toward the restaurant. Along the way, Sakura spoke again. "Despite how hectic things were earlier, I'm really glad you showed up today." "Thanks," Naruko said. "I wish the whole team could have been there, but I know we'll have plenty more chances." Sakura nodded. "With you, I'm sure of it." When they arrived, Naruko opened the door and held out her hand. "Shall we?" Sakura smiled and took it. "Let's." A waiter greeted them and guided them to a quiet rooftop table. The sky was painted with gentle shades of orange, pink, and blue as the sun slowly dipped toward the horizon. They talked about their day, shared laughs, and remembered their early days as teammates, smiling at how far they had come. Dinner passed peacefully, filled with stories and laughter. When it was time to leave, the evening air felt calm and comfortable. As they stepped outside, Naruko hesitated, then spoke. "Hey, would you like to stay over tonight? I'd really enjoy your company." Sakura blinked in surprise, then smiled. "Sure. I'd like that." They walked together until Sakura noticed something different. "This isn't your old place." Naruko nodded. "I moved. This house belonged to my parents. I thought it was time to come home." Inside, the space felt warm and welcoming. Sakura noticed a photo on a shelf of Naruko's parents smiling together, full of love. She held it carefully, understanding what it meant. "It's a wonderful home," Sakura said softly. Naruko smiled. "I was hoping you'd think so." They stood together for a moment, and then Naruko took a deep breath. "Sakura. Would you consider living here with me? Sakura looked surprised, but before she could respond, Naruko gently continued. I don't want to face the future without you by my side. Naruko knelt down and opened a small box, revealing a simple, beautiful ring that caught the warm light of the room. Will you marry me, Sakura? Sakura's eyes filled with happy tears. She didn't hesitate. Yes, she said with a joyful laugh. Yes, I will. They hugged tightly, laughing and smiling, knowing this moment marked the beginning of a new chapter, one built on trust, kindness, and shared dreams. A new beginning for Naruko. Naruko let out a surprised laugh as she stumbled slightly, then steadied herself. Before she could say anything else, Sakura leaned forward and gave her a warm, heartfelt hug. The moment was gentle and full of happiness, the kind that made everything else feel quiet and calm. Naruko hugged her back, smiling so wide it almost hurt. Sakura's eyes filled with happy tears, and she laughed at herself while wiping them away. I never imagined a moment like this, Sakura said softly. Being here, with you. Naruko looked around the cozy home they stood in. It had once belonged to people who loved deeply and believed in kindness. Being there made her feel connected to her past and hopeful for her future. I'm really glad we're sharing this moment, Naruko said. Her voice was steady, full of warmth. Sakura took a deep breath as Naruko gently placed a small ring into her hand. It wasn't flashy, but it shimmered beautifully in the light. It's so lovely, Sakura said, admiring it. I love it. Naruko grinned. I picked it because it reminded me of you. They both laughed, and Sakura let out a small yawn. It's been a long day, Sakura said. I think I'm ready to rest. Same here, Naruko replied. I'll make up the guest bed so you're comfortable. Sakura smiled kindly. Thank you. That means a lot. They wished each other good night, both feeling peaceful and content. Naruko sat quietly for a moment, thinking about how far she had come and how much she had grown, not just stronger, but kinder and more thoughtful too. Somewhere else. Far beyond the village, deep in a forest filled with tall trees and glowing fireflies, there was a hidden cave. It wasn't scary, just quiet and mysterious. Water dripped softly from the ceiling, echoing gently through the space. At the back of the cave, a small lantern flickered on, revealing Captain Yamato sitting calmly with a notebook in his hands. They probably just forgot to tell me the meeting was postponed, he said with a chuckle. He closed his notebook, stood up, and smiled to himself. Tomorrow's another day. The lantern dimmed as he walked toward the cave's exit, the forest welcoming him back with soft light and peaceful sounds. Dear YouTube family. That brings us to the end of this fanfic series. Thank you for reading, watching, and supporting this journey from start to finish. It truly means the world to me. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more stories and future projects. With gratitude. Anime Dreams.